The reason I'm running for Secretary of State is I'm going to focus on the economy, mainly on the policies that affect the economy. Because research shows that if we have the right policies in place, we will have a strong economy. And the economy is so vitally important. If you have a strong economy, that means you have money for your roads and your bridges and education. I'm the first-term public service commissioner, and first I really need to even back up further if you start talking about the experience that really rolls into everything. You know, my mother worked in a lunchroom and my dad worked in the oil fields. I myself started off in pipeline construction, digging ditches, learned how to weld pipe, even roughnecked on drilling rigs. The reason you call it roughnecking is because it's rough, manual, physical labor. But 80s came and things changed with the oil crash. I became a CPA. I had a CPA practice where I started off with the smallest of mom and pop businesses, and I worked my way up to having large companies as clients. Man, where else but America can you go from digging ditches to sitting at the table helping people make major financial decisions that affect people's lives? Now, the reason that history is important is because I learned a lot about the economy and what drives it and the decisions people make to invest in our state and businesses to grow. With that background, it's a perfectly well set thing to go to the Secretary of State's office and focus on the policies that help businesses to grow our economy. We need to change the discussion that we're having in this state. Now, currently when we talk about the policies, those are things like your tax structure, business regulation, your legal and judicial system, private property rights. Now, you have the right mix of those things in place, then that drastically affects your economy and how much businesses can grow. So focusing on those policies will have a tremendous effect. Now again, research shows that the right policies in effect, then your economy will grow. An example can be Hong Kong of 50 years ago, third world country. Today you go to Hong Kong, it's like New York City. Well, they have grown far more than the state of Mississippi in that period of time, as many other states and countries. So we need to look and ask why. And it goes back to the policies. And that is a conversation that we should be having once a year. What are the policies we have? And even further, I believe that this state should create a goal that our personal income in Mississippi should exceed the national average. And if we get our policies right and we grow by 2% a year, we will achieve that in one generation in 20 years. Voter ID is important, and of course, Mississippi is the only state in the union that instituted voter ID laws, and we're not sued over them. We have done that successfully, and we should. We should do whatever is necessary to make sure to keep our elections secure and fair, and voter ID is just one step along that path. I can get things done. I've had in private practice, I worked in my private life, and I dealt with difficult issues and resolving those issues. So I understand business and finance, but more importantly, I know how to get things done. And here in the state of Mississippi, we have the resources and we have the people. But quite honestly, the responsibility is on us to make it happen. Now, think about that word responsibility. It's really two words, response and ability. We all have ability. The only question is, how are we going to respond with the ability that we have? And that's why I'm running for Secretary of State. That's why I asked your viewers for their vote and support. Because I truly believe if we work on our policies, we can change the conversation that we're having here in this state, and we will truly change Mississippi for the better in the future.